Hey, Lex here. So I was asked to make a video for complete beginners on hitting, so that's what I'm going to do. Basically, how are you going to hit from step one? Scroll all the way down on the main menu to custom practice, okay? You want to go up against the Yankees here, and then you can choose whoever you want. I'm going to take Mike Trout because he's so inspirational. Now you can pick whatever stadium you want. Probably the most popular stadium that you'll play at is Ship It. You see this a lot, day, night, doesn't matter. People love Ship It. High elevation, fences that are kind of dragged in a little bit so the ball flies. So this will load up, and basically, from the rip, right? Practice type, you want to hit batting. You're going to want to face, I don't think going against Kluber is not a bad idea. He's great because he got the sinker and the cutter, the two most used pitches online. I'd say sinker is number one, and then you'd probably see maybe, I guess, changeup, because you don't see as many people with the cutter as you do changeup or curveball or slider. But I think sinker is probably the hardest pitch to hit online because the movement looks like an off-speed pitch. But we're going to go cold right away, and we're going to, when you're basically there, you're going to want to time up fastballs. That's all you want to do. Get your hitting eye. As a beginner, get your hitting eye. And obviously there's other things you want to do as a beginner, which is basically put your TV on game mode if it has one. Otherwise, buy a monitor. I know a lot of people say, oh, 1 millisecond refresh rate. A lot of that's just marketing. There are websites out there that show the actual input lag of monitors, which are real, but manufacturers don't test that. They say, oh, it's 1 millisecond. That's how quickly the pixel changes color, which is not input lag. So like a lot of monitors that actually have bad input lag will still say 1 millisecond. So there's a lot of false news out there about that, but generally monitors are better, especially gaming monitors are better than TV. I mean, that's a pretty big gap there. So go to gameplay. We're gonna be hitting on legend difficulty right here. You could jack up your sliders too in the main menu, but we'll worry about that later. That's not really a beginner thing. Hitting view, I'd put it on strike zone too, but what's nice about this hitting view stuff is if you go here to options, you can take a look at your camera. You kind of take a look at which one you like the most. Like a lot of the top end guys using strike zone because it's like the biggest, most clear evidence of the strike zone that you can look at it more than anything. Sorry, I just gotta back away for a second. You close to it so you can see the brakes on a little bit better. I like strike zone too because I feel like I handle off speed and stuff a little lower, a little better than regular strike zone. Strike zone 3 is very pushed out. Now, if you're right next to your monitor, right? If your eyes are right there, and basically like in a lot of other people that'll be like 30 inches away, further away. Maybe you can do that. Maybe your nose is right against that. But we're gonna stick with strike zone 2 here. I like my pitching view to be retro also, just to get something behind the bat so that way you can see it twice. But anyways, so you can see like when you're pitching what the ball looks like. I like that. But the plate coverage indicator, now it doesn't really matter. This is all visual stuff. Plate coverage indicator, aka the PCI, aka the thing you drag around. Your hitting input interface has to be zone. If you choose anything else, you're not going to be performing at the top level. You'll see people say, oh, directional's fine. It's not fine. Don't use directional. Sure, you can win games with it, but generally you're going to max out using zone. This directional's too random. Pure analog, pure shit. Zone. Input type buttons. Now you can do analog, but that's a bad thing to do. You can go into your controller settings on your PlayStation or Xbox and switch your A button to right trigger. I think I've heard somebody talking about that. So you can use like your first person skills. Was that movie gaming? I don't remember. But anyways, so you can use the right trigger to flick it. But no, dude, input type button. Now if you have to ask me if I should use power or contact swing, you're probably a beginner and this is probably the right video for you. Do not use power or contact swings. Just use normal swings, okay? Analog type, that's not going to matter because we're in zone buttons, okay? Plate coverage indicator, do whatever you want here, doesn't matter. PCI inner, I got the Starfighter. Do you see what the Starfighter is here? This middle part, the PCI is this yellow thing I'm moving around, right? So it doesn't really matter. Basically, he's going to pump balls down the middle of the plate, right? Strikes, I mean. The ball is going to go right here in the middle, okay? All right, you can also get control freaks, which are nice, but and all you have to do right here, don't move your PCI. All you're doing is timing fastballs. Once you time this fastball on legend, all you need to do is get your timing right first. All right, so if you're a beginner, timing right on fastballs. Once you have the fastballs, then you can get down to off speed, right? You should do this, right? I was a little quick. You know what? That's what she said. So anyways, once you get those things done, you go to your batting type practice. Now, control freaks, like I talked about, are okay. You don't have to have them. You can throw in all the other stuff. You can take this off so he throws all around it. But I don't think it's a bad idea to just work on fastballs right away, but then just do fastballs wherever. So now you're having Cole pitch your fastballs inside, out of the zone, wherever. Just work on mastering hitting the fastball because straight stuff is what you'll see. you know, probably 50% of the time is stuff going straight at you, a fastball versus, you know, off-speed stuff. Now, some guys will throw you a lot more junk. Some guys will throw you a lot more fastballs. But if you can't hit a fastball, you're not going to hit in the show. Okay? It's not going to happen. So work on timing up your fastballs, and then you work your PCI. Once you have the middle, then you start, you know, measuring up your PCI on the ball. Now, the biggest mistake, and I have the problem with this too, is janking the PCI up or down, right? Getting the fine-tuned movements to not go all the way down to the bottom of the strike zone, all the way down, every single at bat is very hard. It's a hard habit to break. So you just go like, see, I went all the way up. You want to go like, you want to feather it up a little. So you'll see me oftentimes making minor movements with my PCI before the pitch comes to be able to get to certain areas, right? Now we just nailed that one with Fletcher. Nice. Maybe I should have gone with like Trout or something. Trout would have been a better one to show, but he's more fun to swing with because he has a lot better results than Fletcher. So like like this, right? Ooh, good pitch. And then you get your batter's eye too. So like once you master the fastball, everything plays off it. You'll always sit fastball, okay? React off speed. That's just like baseball knowledge 101. So then you switch to the rest of them. After that, get a few more minutes, then get into online play. But basically, timing is everything in this game. Timing is more important than anything. So once you see that, and then like low pitches, they're hard to lay off, of course. But after this point, once you got your timing on the fastballs, everything is pitch recognition at this point. Change up, man. When they pull the string on you, it's quite a bit. So that looked like a fastball. Changeups are hard to do. Sometimes you can see the little upward movement of the changeup. But basically, after the timing, after getting all that done, that's when the fun time happens. So let's reiterate: options, gameplay, hitting view, whatever you want. I'd just go strike zone 2 to start if you don't know. Okay, hitting type, zone interface, button input, plate coverage indicator on, PCI center, whatever you want. I use diamond starfighter because I think it looks cool. Outer, turn that off. Some people like to turn off the inner one to none and just have the middle because, you know, aim small, miss small. I don't know. I've just always used a little that PCI, so that's what I do it. But I don't think having the diamonds only is a bad thing whatsoever. So there it is, batting, base running, guess pitch, get all that stuff off. So there you go. That's what you need to do. Time the fastball more than anything else. You can even go, if you want to go against a lefty, what's great about this team is they got Chapman. So I think always hitting against the, you know, I guess you could go like all-star teams and legend teams and stuff, but Yankees are good enough to hit off of because when you dominate them, it's also fun. So Chapman, if you need help against lefties, he's a good guy to hit off because he's probably the best lefty in the game that you'll see all year. Chapman is absolute filth. So if you can hit Chapman, you're going to have a good year this year in MLB The Show. So there you go, 99 up and in before you work on the other stuff. All right, that's it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it. But like I said, timing's everything. Work on that first. There is also other methods like the 3-click method. I guess I can do that right now. The 3-click method is once they separate their hands, click, click, click. So like once they separate their hands, once they put their front foot down. Oh, there's no replay in practice mode. Once they put their front foot down, is another click, and the last click is when you swing the bat, and that's when the ball's crossing the plate, right? So wait, we'll do click, 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 and then you swing on the third click. It's basically a metronome. I think Gunsky, first I saw hit this from him, so I'm totally stealing his content on this one. Shout out to him. I'm a thief. Deal with it, dong sizer. All right, so click, click, click. When the hands separate, when the foot lands, and then when the ball's crossing the plate is your 3 clicks to help time up that fastball. If you need it, if you don't want to do it, it's click, 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 right? And it was inside, so it's a bad swing, but you want to swing out a little early on inside pitches. So there you go, hitting tips for complete beginners. Click, 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 and it's a ball. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.